Period. Been saving the best dad. What?
What you doing?
Dad, why are you busting in my room like that?
Where you get all that money from? Where you been at all night? Huh?
I dance.
You dance?
Yes,
what
I
kind of
dance.
You forward?
No.
Huh?
Stop trying to be funny. You always trying to be funny.
So
No,
you out here
it
exposing
doesn't
yourself
matter.
for money?
It doesn't
You gotta
matter.
go.
It
You're
doesn't
not doing that in my
matter.
house.
I'm
You gotta
taking
go.
care of my son, right?
I
Don't
don't
nobody
care.
in
You
this
and
house
your
help
son
me.
gotta go.
But don't nobody in this house
You're
help
not
me
doing
take
that.
care
That's
of
nasty.
him.
What's good, YouTube? This is KB LaFlair. You can call me KB. Welcome back to another video, man. We got something pretty good today, man. We got a father and we got his daughter, his 18-year-old daughter, going back and forth because she decided to say, you know what, hey, right? As soon as I get out of high school, as soon as I get out of high school, and this is what I always talk about, but I'd rather jump on a pole and expose myself instead of just going to college like every regular child, right? Because once again, we're still little, we're still growing up, we're still children coming out of high school. People, just because you go on to college, I mean, yeah, you're somewhat of an adult, but you're still a child, right? Because you still can't even drink. You still can't even drink. Your mind doesn't fully develop until you're 25 years of age. But a lot of you women today who are becoming feminists, like I said, this stuff is starting young now, right? This stuff is starting young. They are now wanting to be sexually liberated and jumping into the industry, into the adult industry at a very young age. And you're talking about 18 years of age. 18 years of age. So instead of going to college and living your life like every regular child does, you say, hey, well, guess what? I'd rather not do that. I want to go ahead and get my money fast. And this is another issue where a lot of these women build a false sense of reality because a lot of these women get this fast money very fast. And they say, I don't need a man. I don't need this. I don't need that. Come to find out, this 18-year-old daughter has a child. So the father's saying, man, listen, you just had a child, right? You're 18 years of age with a child. Now, all of a sudden, I'm finding out as soon as you get out of high school, you're sitting over here on a pole. Ma'am, what are you doing? Right? What are you doing? So I can definitely feel for the father, but at the same time, when you watch the video, you just see her interaction with her father, how she talks to him, how she just dismisses him, how she's arguing with him. And it's like, okay, brother, this was the issue a long time ago. Maybe you just allowed her to do whatever she wanted to do. You didn't have no boundaries. You weren't a strict father. Now you allow this young girl to go off the rails, and now she is 18 years of age, thinking she has the world at her hands because she's making all of this money, as if this money will continue to be coming to her at the age of 90 years of age, at the age of 50 years of age, at the age of 40 years of age. It's just not going to work. And then you have a child. It's just a bad look. But this is what you're going to be seeing with a lot of your women today. This is the route that they want to go down. Let's look at the video.
Period. Been saving the best dad.
Where you get all that money?
What?
What you doing?
Dad, why are you busting in my room like that?
Where you get all that money from? Where you been at all night? Huh?
I dance.
You dance?
Yes,
what
I
kind of
dance.
You forward?
No.
Huh?
Stop trying to be funny. You always trying to be funny.
So
No,
you out here
it
exposing
doesn't
yourself
matter.
for money?
It doesn't
You gotta
matter.
go.
It
You're
doesn't
not doing that in my
matter.
house.
I'm
You gotta
taking
go.
care of my son, right?
I
Don't
don't
nobody
care.
in
You
this
and
house
your
help
son
me.
gotta go.
But don't nobody in this house help me take care of
nasty.
him.
You 18, you exposing yourself for money. Why don't you
What?
go get a job
I
at McDonald's or
graduated.
something?
I graduated because this
wanna
money
be like the
comes
rest of
fast.
these little nasty
You know how
little girls
fast I
out
made
there?
this money?
You wanna be
I
like
made
the
this
rest
money
of
in
these
2
little
months.
nasty girls.
I made this money in 2 months.
Bro,
You talking
that's
about
nasty.
McDonald's?
You gotta
Okay,
go.
it doesn't matter. I've
Go.
been helping you pay the
Go.
bills, right? Do you want help paying the bills or
I'm
not?
not raising no kids.
I've been helping you pay the bills,
that's
saving for my
exposing
apartment, getting
yourself.
my own car.
No.
I've been doing everything by myself. Why does it matter?
You exposing yourself come on now, for money? Really, daughter? That's what we doing?
Do
For
you
money?
see, I'm not
For
exposing
money?
myself for money. I'm exposing
Go
myself
ahead
so my
on.
baby can have a better life.
I'm
It's
not
not for
dealing with
money.
it.
It's so my
No,
baby
not
can have a
my
better
house.
life. Like,
Not
what the
my
fuck?
house.
Okay, so
what you do,
what?
but you can't do it in my house.
So I gotta leave?
Yes,
Okay, so then
you and that baby gotta go.
So then you're gonna be back in the same
No,
predicament you
Cap,
was.
none of that.
As soon as I leave, you're gonna
No,
be back in
you
the same
want money in my
predicament you
house.
was.
I
Like,
don't respect that.
And then, as y'all can hear, she's saying, man, nobody wants to help me in this house. Nobody helps me with my child in this house. Ma'am, are you not living with your father? The house alone is a roof over your head and the child's head. Like, what are we doing here? The house alone is a roof over your head and the child's head. But hey, once again, this lifestyle creates a false sense of reality. A lot of women don't care what you got to say until it's time for them to need you, right? When she gets of age, she start hitting her late 20s, early 30s. Because she's gonna add another one to the collection. There's going to be another baby coming to the collection. I just already know it. You're gonna have multiple children, and you're going to want other men to deal with that. And this is once again false sense of reality. You can sit over here and think you can do it without a man, just then turn around and say, hey, well, you know what? Hey, I'm not going to say I need a man. Even though I do, I'm not going to say I need a man. But hey, guess what? I don't need a man. I can get my own money. I just need a man to be with me for moral support and all that bull crap. Once again, man, this is a crack ideology, man, that a lot of your women just have. That they think they can just, once again, they can just do whatever they want to do. Do whatever they want to do, and everybody have to accept it. It's just not going to work that way, especially with some parents. But once again, you're lying and saying that nobody's helping you when, once again, your child has a roof over his head, and then the grandfather is obviously in the life. He's allowing you to live there. So obviously he's going to want to go. Obviously he's going to help with his own grandchild. Right? Well, like what type of stuff is that? Like what sense does that make? But hey, because I don't have an argument, hey, because I don't care about what type of profession that I'm in, you shouldn't care either. Guess what? I should be able to do what I want to do. It just, like, once again, this is a false sense of ideology. This is just a crack ideology. Where women just think they can just do what they want to do, and then everybody just has to accept it. Like, what world do you think what world are you living in? And plus, you're making all that money. Go get your own apartment, right? Go get your own apartment. But let me ask y'all. I'm not too big on, in that industry or whatever, But if you're dancing for money, right? If you're dancing for money, is that clean money? Is that dirty money? Do you have to, like? I'm pretty sure you have to, like, because if you work, you have to pay taxes. So my question is, I'm pretty sure is that tax-free money, right? Because that's all tips. So when I don't know. Right, I don't know. Y'all let me know how it goes down below, right? Because I could be honest, I could care less, right? But I would like to know. And then she brings up the fact that she says, "Hey, well, man, listen, you're just going to be in the same position, right?" Now, once again, that's like I said, the father alone says enough. The father alone says why the daughter acts the way she acts. But at the same time, man, once again, sis, if it was that much of an issue, you would have been had your own crib. And this narrative that, I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this to take care of my child. It's just a lame excuse because you're doing it for money. If you were just doing it for your child, you wouldn't be up here making a whole video. You crackling on the money. Yeah, I saved all of that. A lot of these women enjoy this lifestyle until it's time to give the lifestyle up. And then once again, they have to go back and, can somebody please, man, be my Lord and Savior? Stop it. So someone commented and says, you got all of the money. Get your own apartment. Someone else says, dancing at 18 with a baby, staying with your pops is chaotic. Someone else says, famous line, don't nobody help me. Meanwhile, living in her parents' home. And like I said, man, when you don't have an argument, you just try to push a narrative. You try to just find anything that you can just to sit over here and get leverage in an argument. And this is how a lot of your women are thinking today. This is how a lot of you women are thinking today. They'll try to twist whatever they got going on just to make you feel bad, to make you feel guilty. Don't nobody help me. Ma'am, like you literally have a roof over your head. While you get to sit up here and save your money, while you get to sit over here and save your booty money, you like, come on, man. Like, once again, find a better argument. Just be an adult, right? But once again, she can't be an adult. She's 18 years of age. She's 18 years of age, and the first thing she does is, hey, let me go ahead and go expose myself. It's crazy, man. Somebody else says, with that mouth, she definitely need to take herself and her money and get her own place. Facts. Someone else says, y'all act like y'all wanted him to be supportive. Well, nobody acts like we wanted him to be supportive. We need him to be supportive. That's what we expect all fathers to do, right? And then on top of that, was he not being supportive? Once again, but hey, you just allow people to continue to talk, and they will just show who they really are. You obviously have an issue with the father here. So someone else says, why is it always I dance and never I'm a stripper? They ashamed of it? Yes, they are, right? Yes, they are. But once again, this is the world that we're living in, where a lot of women, they know what's bad, but they will make every excuse as to why it's good. Or it should be something to be celebrated. Back in the day, strippers did that stuff because they literally needed the money. And then a lot of times they'll move to a whole different state to go ahead and try to cover up their identity, start a new life. Hey, well, this is I needed to do that because I didn't have nobody. You have a woman who's literally living with her father. And you see this a lot of times. You have a woman living with her father or parents or grandparents or whatever and say, nobody helps me. Well, where are you living at, ma'am? But once again, that's just an argument that a lot of women like to throw out because, hey, guess what? I want to continue to do what I want to do without having to be held accountable for it. When men bring it up and they say, hey, man, look, I can't deal with that past. Like that's a wild past. Oh, well, you're insecure, right? You blah, 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 blah. It's always the BS. Someone else says, anybody who has a problem with this got issues. It may not be the route you would take and certainly not the route I'd take, but it's understandable. Rent is very high and she needs a stable place for her and her baby to lay her head. That's not anybody's problem about her. She's the one who had the child, not the man, right? Not the father in this case. Right, she was the one, and then with that type of mouth and all that attitude, yeah, like, come on, bro, there's no excuse. So then she goes on to say, and let's be clear, she is dancing, not prostituting. Her father was definitely in the wrong. I see it as her saving up money so she can be able to have a stable life for her and her baby. Nothing more, nothing less. Right, once again, of course, your women today, your women who are, of course, 18 years of age all the way up to 35, they will never see anything wrong with it until it's time to settle down, and then they start to see the world and saying, looking at them as, hey, you are that girl, man, who was on that stripper pole. Oh, well, why are you looking at me that way? We see it plenty of times, man, with a lot of women who are leaving out of the adult industry. They're upset. They are upset because people don't look at them the way they want them to, right? And that's nobody's fault but theirs. You are the one that gave us this perception. You were the one that gave us this person to look at. That's on you. So just going back to that top comment, right? She says, y'all act like y'all wanted him to be supportive. So someone says, that's the wild thing. If your dad supports his daughter to strip, he on some weirdo-ish. Somebody else says, exactly like he is a father. Someone else says, that's because they will support this mess. Somebody else says, and what did you do for college then? To have fun and not do a career you studied in college for? So someone else says, sounds like poor life choices to me. Should have waited till marriage to have a kid and pick a nice, hardworking man, not a bad guy. Your choices, your predicament, you caused and gave your child a horrible life in raising. Somebody else says, how nobody helping her, but she's still staying with her dad. Make it make sense. So someone says, a dad will never support this mentality. Once she's seen the money she got hooked. Now she addicted to that lifestyle. Now her son gonna put up with it in the long run. And that's just a fact. But once again, they do not care about that until it's time. And even when it comes down to that, because you see a lot of OnlyFans mothers getting upset, the only response is, well, you do understand that you have this lifestyle because I'm sitting over here, man, putting myself out there for every other man to see, right? For every other man to say, for every other kid to see and embarrass you at school. You do know that's what I'm doing to help you have this lifestyle.
When my son is 20, 30 years old, he's not going to be like, Mom, I hate you because you were a stripper before I was born.
Amber Rose's son, Sebastian, said people have came up to him about his mom being on OnlyFans.
He said that somebody told him, your mom is on OnlyFans. And
There
I
it
was
is.
like during the pandemic. I mean, I had to work.
How did you talk to him about it?
I just explained everything to him. Like, when it comes to women, you have to let women do what they need to do to support their families. You want to go to a nice school?
Oh.
Six Flags, Universal.
We'll go Six Flags?
Travel. You know, mommy has to make money.
Is that like something of value that you want to teach your kids? Like, you want them new J's when they come out? Mama got to bust it open. Fuck you mean? I don't give a fuck them niggas ridiculing you at school about seeing me naked on the internet.
Hey, bro, this your mom? This your mom? Hey, nigga, this your mom, right? This your mom?
Women should be able to do what they want to do with their bodies, but they can't control the stigma that comes along with doing stuff like being on OnlyFans.
OnlyFans has a reputation.
I think a woman would have to like make her peace with the stigma and be aware that it can negatively affect your children, and don't try to write it off as some empowering thing that you're proud of your son for understanding. This is relatively new, the whole OnlyFans generation. You don't know how it's going to affect your kid.
As if a kid is going, well, I guess you're right. Like, come on, man, it's sad. It's sad. I mean, that's what Amber Rose tried to do with his son. But I mean, hey, you see how the little boy turning out.
Hi, my name is Sebastian, and I'm taking over my mom's YouTube channel. It's my birthday bash today. You see the cars, you see the balloons, you see the fit, and we're about to have a fun day today. Come here, Noah. This is my best friend Noah. He's been in a lot of our videos.
So someone else says she's staying in the house with a kid. What you mean nobody help her? Y'all so entitled. Yes, this generation of women are very entitled, right? Especially when they're very entitled, right? They're sexually liberated. When once again, it's sad. They are so entitled that they will sit over here and down you for not accepting their past, for not moving on from their past, when literally you have to vet. When you vet every person, you have to vet their past. The crazy thing is, man, women will sit up here and say that as if they wouldn't sit over here and ask a man, or as if they would sit over here and literally overlook a man who just raped somebody in their past. Like you wouldn't overlook that. You would. That is something that's very important to know. Oh, well, what is your past like? Oh man, you had a string of rapings. I mean, like, why would I want to date that? But I mean, hey, I guess so I can overlook that because your past really shouldn't matter. It's only about what you're doing now. Yeah, I stopped doing that, man. I stopped doing that a year ago. Once again, man, women so hypocritical, man. It's ridiculous. So somebody else responding and says she chose to have a baby at 18. That's her problem to deal with. Yeah, it's nice to have help, but that's not a requirement. Once again, the grandfather isn't required to take care of that grandbaby. The father isn't required to take care of you. Your man and the man that you had a child with is required to take care of you. But and once again, you don't need nobody. Even though you staying up in somebody's house, you making all of this money or whatever. It seems like you can make all the right choices, but you can't make the right choices when it comes down to the man they're having a child with. That doesn't make any sense. So he then goes on to say she was old enough to open her legs with no protection. She's old enough for the consequences. Her son will most likely get bullied relentlessly for her choices of work and will most likely hate her for it. If you have a child, make better decisions for the child. That's all it boils down to, guys. I mean, I didn't talk long enough, man, but this is just a good video I had to talk about. I just had to talk about it. But do me a huge favor, leave me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel.